On December 15th, 1941, four musicians took the stage in a small auditorium near the Polish-German border. They were in a rather unusual setting, Stalag 8A, a notorious German prisoner of war camp. The piece they were about to play was the world premiere of Olivier Messiaen's Quartet for the End of Time. The musicians were Messiaen himself on the piano, Henri Acoca playing clarinet, Etienne Pasquier playing the cello, and Jean Le Brulaire on violin. Messiaen had started this piece before he was captured, but he needed to finish up the final 6 of the 8 movements while he was in the prison camp. He was assisted in this by a prison guard, Captain Karl Albert Brühl, who was, as a captain of the guards, able to get him manuscript paper, pencils and erasers, and to post a guard at his door so that he would not be disturbed while he was composing. Messiaen used a rather modern technique in composition, and the 4 musicians needed to work very hard in order to put this all together, hours every day for some months before the performance. As the men prepared to play, Messiaen made some remarks about the piece itself and its meaning to him. The prisoners quieted down, and very unusually for prisoners, remained silent throughout the performance. About 50 minutes later, when it was over, they were still silent, awestruck at what they'd heard, although they weren't quite sure what it was. The harmonies were a bit strange, the rhythms subtle, if not complex. And yet they knew that they had heard something important. After the performance, the silence continued, by all accounts, for a very long time. And then applause broke out for a very long time. There were about 400 of them in the audience, Polish and French prisoners mostly, the German officers sitting in the front row. And they all appreciated what this was. In the middle of the greatest conflict in history, people dying in their homes, on battlefields, in prison camps and concentration camps, no one living without fear. The Quartet for the End of Time did not end the war. It didn't even bring the peace any closer. It did give 400 men a bit of a respite from their day-to-day fears in the prison camp. But keep in mind that this was a joint effort between the camp administration, the guard, and the 4 musicians, especially Messiaen, to produce what is now known as certainly the most remarkable world premiere in music history. And the Quartet for the End of Time is known as one of the real touchstones of Western music in the 20th century. One performance won't bring peace. But if we keep playing and writing music, singing, dancing, and keep the goal in mind, perhaps we can help to bring peace.